So we get in a vehicle and we're driving. And pretty soon we're driving for a long time in the desert. And my friend's going, he's checking his maps. And he goes, hey, we're not driving. We're supposed to be driving. Hey, where are you taking us? And the driver don't answer, right? So he's thinking, it's terrorists, man. He's kidnapping us. What's going on? It's thieves, something, right? And I'm just sitting there in the front seat. My driver keeps driving. My friend's driving him nuts while he's driving us. My friend's driving him nuts, going, hey, what's going on? So he finally turns around and he looks at me and he goes, Mr. Bill, I'm taking you where you're supposed to go. And I go, okay, I'm game. Wherever you go, I haven't been. So this is my first trip to India. It was 2004. So what the heck, My friend's going, no, we're supposed to. And this driver just keeps driving. So we drive over this hill, and then there's this oasis. A few palm trees, a parking lot, and there's a big, huge temple and a smaller temple. And it was a Jain temple or a Jan temple, how you pronounce it. And there was 2 busloads of Europeans there that were touring it, which I don't want people here, but okay, so they found it too. So we get out and my driver goes, this is where you're supposed to be, Mr. Bill. I said, okay. So he stays in the car. And we go into the temple. We're walking in the temple. And I'm going to the temple and I got my brown hat on, got an Indiana Jones hat, of course, and I got a walking stick and pair of Levi's and and I'm ready for the world. Take my shoes off, go up the temple steps, and there's this crowd of people. There's dozens and dozens and dozens of people in this temple. And all of a sudden I see this body, color, yellow, orange, I don't know what color his robe was, but colorful robe. And he's running like a football player through the, trying to make a touchdown. He's going through, weaving through all these people. He's trying to get to me as fast as he can. I'm looking at that, my friends look at me, and he comes right up to me. It was a monk. And he grabs me around and he goes, welcome home, brother. I've been waiting for you. I knew you'd come back. And I said, okay, fine. Now this India, everybody's got a game, what's he want? Money, what? So I got my antennas up. So, okay, I'm going to watch this. He said, no, come. He brings us down. We sit down at the little altar that he has in the middle of the temple. He says, do what I do. So I said, okay. So he goes, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, a bunch of stuff like that. I have no clue what he's doing. So we repeated. Next thing you know, the place is deadly silent. All these tourists are gathered around a big circle watching us like, who are these Westerners doing this chant? What's going on, right? And people taking pictures. And so it's about 20 minutes of that. And then he gets through and he tells my friend, he says, because he sees my friend has a camera, he says, you want to take pictures? And he calls another monk over to take him around so he can take all these great pictures. And he says, now you got a private tour and I want to talk to you. So I said, okay. So we go in the back room. We're going down this hall away from all the people. And then he touches a wall. And when he touches this wall, the wall goes, shifts. So it's like there's an opening of about 3 feet you could slide through. And I'm going, this is just like Indiana Jones, man. This is my dream, man. This is perfect. I love it, right? So we go into this room and he's got candles burning and he's got incense going and it's like fog in there just pouring out, right? And then we sit down and we're talking and I figure, okay, I'm in India now. It's my first trip into India and I'm looking for that mountain on the, the guru on the mountaintop experience. I'm looking for that guru that sits up there in the Himalayas and, you climb up the mountain, you say, what's the purpose of life, right? And the guy gives you all the answers, right? Well, everywhere I went in India, this first trip, it was not the experience. Everywhere I went, everybody asked me. And I'm going, what's going on? So I thought, well, maybe this guy's going to give you some information now because he was kind of like, I don't know the Jain religion, but if it was like the Catholic Church, he'd be like a cardinal or something. In other words, he was in charge of not just that temple. He was kind of like overseeing several other locations. So he was somebody in the bureaucracy, and I have no idea what. And he goes, I need you to instruct me. I go, what? So he asked me about Kriya Yoga, and he asked me about all these other techniques, and he asked me about all kinds of things that are Indian culture-based stuff that he should have known. I'm going, why are you asking me? So I spent an hour teaching him, instructing him. And the whole time I'm going, so finally I said, look, hey, you got to do me a favor now. I said, I got grandkids and I want to have them blessed. Can you do a blessing for my grandkids? Right. So he gets their names and he reaches into his vestment and he pulls out this little velvet pouch, kind of like you have a little whiskey bottle in or some kind, a little pint, one of those little strings. And he has all these gemstones. They weren't shaped, with fancy cuts. They were basically the raw things. They were pink and yellow and red and purple and green and white. I'm assuming they were the real deal. And he puts them in his hand, and takes his hand and he puts it right on his spiritual eye, and he starts chanting Om for, Delana, Om for, Spencer, my grandchildren. He starts doing all this stuff. And while he's doing that, I'm looking out the opening of the door down the hall, and it's like in the desert on a hot day, or on a hot day with an asphalt road. You look down there and there's wavy lines in the air. There's wavy lines in the air inside this temple. And I'm going, what? The direction that he's chanting this Om, there's wavy lines in the air. And I think, okay, I've been here too long. So then we finish up, and he gets my friend, and he leads us to the rooftop. He knows my secret desire. I got to meditate on the roof, right? So I go to the rooftop, and I'm sitting there on top of this fantastic temple. And it was just such an energy vortex. It was just sucking the energy in and out of there was movement. This wasn't a stagnant building, marble building sitting there. There was movement of energy both directions. And it was shimmering. It was an experience. Of course, my friend sat there quietly. I don't think he felt anything, but I'm going, wow, man, this is like, wow. So I get ready to go. I come downstairs, and the guy gives me another hug and everything. And I told myself, I got to go. He says, oh, no. You don't have to go. This is your temple. I go, what? He says, no, this is your temple. You can stay a week, a month, a year, forever. I said, well, that's really great, but this lifetime I got a family. I got to go back. He said, no, you never have to leave. I said, I got to go. So I said, goodbye. Not going to see you again this lifetime. He says, yes, not this lifetime, but we will see each other again. I said, okay, fine. So I leave. Of course, my friend is still upset about the driver taking us someplace, and his mindset, he's still mad at the driver, and I'm leaving there just flying high, going, wow, this is like, wow, what does he mean? He's waiting for his brother, and I returned, so had all kinds of questions when I left there, like, who do you think I was? And obviously he wasn't asking for anything, so it wasn't really a scam. So that was interesting, and I think someday I will see him again, but I really don't think it'll be in this lifetime, not in the flesh and blood. So that first trip to India really kind of opened my eyes. That's when I began that great journey. And see, after my first book, this autobiography, Warrior, Spiritual Odyssey, which is my life up to Machu Picchu, which we can talk about another time. And then after I finished that book, I began this this decade-long quest with 4 trips to India. It's Alchemy. 4 trips to India, 2 near-death experiences, and a naughty palm reading, and amongst other things, all kinds of crazy stuff happened. So you asked me at the beginning of this questions when you were talking to me, you said, well, how'd this thing begin? It's still beginning. It's still unfolding. There's never been a time where I get someplace, like you go upstairs and you reach a floor and you stop and rest. No, you reach that floor, you go up the next, then you go up the next, then you go. This thing just keeps moving forward. It's a series of experiences. I don't stop to question why. See, probably a younger, more intelligent person, when these things happen, would say, okay, what's the deal? They analyze it. How come? Why? What's this called? Where are we going with this? And I say, I got a lot of philosophical friends that get into the big discussion. I don't. I experience something and I go, okay, that was okay. I mean, what's the big deal, right?